when we went to the Chuck Wagon Cook-Off there in Llano, the Llano River Chuck Wagon Cook-Off, the video that we showed a couple weeks ago, and we'll put a link down in the description, because if you haven't seen that one, you need to see it. It was incredible. There was so much stuff in Llano that when we drove around that we were like, we got to do a video on Llano. The downtown square there is a National Historic District. I mean, how cool is that? So we're gonna bring you along and show you a bunch of things about this neat little Texas town called, not Llano, but Llano. So let's go.
So if you're over at Cooper's Barbecue or Miller's Meat Market and you cross the bridge, or Badu Park, and you cross the bridge over the Llano River, you'll come to Old Town Llano, including the town square and the county courthouse. Llano is the county seat for Llano County. This courthouse that stands today is the 4th courthouse for the county, and it was built in 1892. Took them a year to complete. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. The contractors who built it were actually from Sulphur Springs, so there's a tie-in where we've seen another really cool courthouse. And the architect was A.O. Watson, whose name we've seen on a lot of courthouses across Texas. It is a beautiful building. Also outside the Llano County Courthouse, you'll find a historical marker which tells the story of Frank Teich. Mr. Teich was born in Germany. He came to Texas in 1878, and he was a stonemason, sculptor, and artist. He worked on the Tarrant County Courthouse as well as the State Capitol building. And in 1901, he started his own business here in Llano called Teich Monument Works. And that business is what brought the granite production industry to this part of Texas. So the Llano Red Top Jail. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was really neat. The history of it is pretty phenomenal. They had, this jail was open until 1982.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And the jailer and his family lived on the 1st floor, or her family. Sometimes it was a female jailer. And then all the prisoners were 2nd floor. Fascinating. They still have all of the original jailing structures, cell structures on the inside. Thank you to Don, who took his time today to give us the tour.
Yeah, and he was a wealth of knowledge.
Oh my gosh, awesome. So yeah, this is a definite, you have to call to set up a tour, but it is worth it. It was $10 per person, goes to the Friends group, the donation to keep the jail. They've had to do a lot of work on it, obviously, over the years to keep it in the shape that it's in so that they can open it to tours.
Yeah, and I think kids are less expensive. I think that's the adult price. So you might check on that. I think kids are less than $10.
Okay, but regardless, it is worth the price. Very interesting.
No doubt. Yeah.
And definitely a must-do when you're here in Llano.
Yeah. Wow, look at this.
There's the fun room.
Step in here and let you see what it was like to be incarcerated in 1895.
Wow.
Now we got your book, we can lock you up. This cell was designed to hold 4 prisoners.
Wow.
They slept in hammocks, and there would have been 4 hammocks, 2 high.
Yeah, so they were in their hammocks all the time. One of the really unique things about Llano is all around, especially around the historic district, you'll find the Llano Selfie Tour. And you just look for these little stop signs with the deer antlers on them. It'll tell you something about an object that is right there, something you can see from where you're standing. and then you can take a selfie. This 1960s restored caboose is now open for tours, and the Pullman car is currently being restored. The railroad first came to Llano in 1892 with the purpose of carrying iron ore from Llano to Austin. It later carried granite, cotton, livestock, a variety of things, including passengers, until the last train departed Llano in 1996. So another stop that you need to make when you're here in Llano is the Llano Visitor Center, the Chamber of Commerce. It's also got a small railroad museum right here that is free, and great folks. Really a good source of information about the area, things to do, places to see, and really kind of ties everything for your Llano experience together. And they are right now, you might be hearing the equipment over to the side. They are expanding and building a mining exhibit, which they hope to open later this year. So that's pretty cool. Right here on the main road that goes through Llano, between the bridge that goes over the Llano River and the Visitor Center, Chamber of Commerce, Railroad Museum, you'll find the Llano County Historical Museum, and it is located in the Bruhl's drugstore. Now, Louis Bruhl was born in 1849. He immigrated to the United States from Germany in 1867 and became an American citizen in 1870. He ended up marrying Julia Hamill, a merchant and pharmacist. They lived in Waco and Rockport. He served as a U.S. consul in Italy until 1899, and then moved to Llano to open a drugstore in 1900. His son, Adolf, was born in 1876. He also became a pharmacist and joined him in the business. And the drugstore building that they built here in 1922 was donated by their family to the Historical Society in 1965, and that is what we see as the museum today. This area was the home of the Dabbs family, who the Dabbs Hotel still exists here. It's a bed and breakfast, and lots of history. I think that opened in 1907 or somewhere around there, still functioning today. A lot of history in Llano.
Yeah, so this is the famous Dabbs Railroad Hotel, and it's been here since 1907, and now it's a B&B, but they say that Bonnie and Clyde have stayed here several times back in their day, as well as some other outlaws and stuff. So very interesting place, right on the river, backs up to the river. So yeah, they said there's some new owners here now too, and pretty neat place to stay.
So yet another reason why we always like to talk to the locals. We thank you, Briley, for pointing out this fantastic area to see Texas bluebonnets, practically right under the bridge, right near the dam here in Llano. And we probably never would have found this without his help. Yeah, I love it.
We're in Grenweldge Park. I'm on the Stone Throne, and this was created for the second annual Llano Earth Arts Festival, also known as LEAF. And all these art sculptures and stuff around here, I think, were for one of the arts festivals, and very creative.
we found what is currently our favorite meat market here in Llano, Miller's Meat Market and Smokehouse. They vacuum seal anything you want in the quantity that you want. And guess what, guys? They ship. We may have to order some more soon. Awesome. This cabin is the oldest structure in Llano. It was built in 1860 on a land grant from 1846. It was originally a little upriver and across on the other side of the river and was moved here in '91 by the Historical Society. It sits right behind the county museum, right near the bridge, and so it still has a view of the river. Okay, when you are in the Llano Town Square, we actually learned this from a local. Thanks for the tip, Don. You gotta come see Carol at the Llano News. Not only is she a wealth of information about the area, but the building itself inside is so super cool. It is definitely worth a stop while you're in town.
Circa 1900.
Yes, 1900. It is, you just have to see it.
Being a former print shop owner, wow, seeing those old presses and stuff are really cool.
And you know, you often hear the term, if these walls could talk. Well, these walls do talk. Check out these old ads from around the turn of the 20th century. I mean, as they started over the years to restore this building, they pulled off the plaster that was falling off the walls, and they found all of these great ads underneath.
Oh, it was really cool to try to decipher them and see what they were. I mean, unbelievable. And I'm so happy that they kept it and didn't cover it up.
You know, I never expected to visit a local newspaper shop while we were visiting a town, but the Llano News, holy cow. I am so impressed with their little office here.
Special place.
So you may notice that we've got several of these deer statues that we've shown you. Llano is the deer capital of Texas because it's said to have the biggest concentration of white-tailed deer in the country. While you're here also in the town square, you need to check in at Enchanted Rocks and Jewelry. What an interesting shop. By far, the most unexpected find that we had in Llano is this alley known as Shakedown Street. It's behind Charlie's Furniture and is a collection of art and murals. We found it because it is another Llano selfie stop. Here in Llano, they have a city park that overlooks the Llano River. It's actually, this is the park that we came to, Badu Park, I believe it's called, where for the Chuck Wagon Cook-Off, and if you haven't seen that video, we'll link it in the description. That was a ton of fun. But that was held here in this park. They actually have, it looks like 10 full hookup 30 and 50 amp RV campsites. Right now, when we're here in April of 2022, the sign says they're going for $35 a night. It's a first come, first served. You register at the self-pay box and you've got a 7-day maximum stay. You pay in advance and then you've got a site to explore Llano. So not a bad thing. You got a little basketball court down here. There's a walking path. There's some picnic tables and frisbee golf. So that is super cool. The sites are paved and they're pretty wide, and you've got an additional parking area for your vehicle that you're going to use to explore the town.